Yay, more Shadowrun. As I, for the life of me, try to remember what it was exactly that I had just done. There, welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I have been looking into the Harfeld Manor. Whatever Fierschwing is up to, it's both large-scale and well-funded. It's uncovered a money trail leading from holding companies all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From there, all that freshly laundered money flows directly to the Harfeld estate. Wait a second. Well, why would a dragon have investors? That doesn't make sense. Stop with that Firewing's pawns, even though they're where the money is going. It's typical draconic plots. Uncover a stream of money flowing behind the scenes, and there is a fair chance to find a dragon at the received end of it. To a dragon, conspiracy is second nature. I mean, that feels kind of, I don't know, generalizing, kind of racist. But Fierschwing was different. She didn't scheme or plot, she acted. Yes, look where it got her. When the Fireling launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she would make the same mistake twice. I don't know. Might. Continue digging into this while you and your team tackle the next run. With luck, I have more information to share upon your return. One last thing. Malit was able to restore the readable surface of one of the Green Witch's DVDs if you'd like to take a look at it to present to the player. One of them? So working on the others, many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off them is proving to be quite a chore. She has told me that she'll be in touch if she makes some headway. Alright. Let's load the second DVD. Software of the mini DVD is punctuated by the occasional rattling sound. The scratched LCD display comes to life in a menu, and a menu fills the screen. Yay! Screen goes black for a moment, then green windows appears. Timestamp of the video reads 2054 11 11 11. Alright, as I said in my last recording, I've done having trouble finding hard facts on Fierschwing, so I thought I'd open up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. Screen jumps to Winters and appears in a different location. He is now clutching a mug of soy calf in both hands, and there are bags under his eyes. Well, that was enlightening. Assuming that any of it was true, that is. So for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the crazier fringe theories related to the dragons and the SOX. As a reminder, the SOX is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in the 08 after the Cant reactor meltdown. That does not sound good. So it's not familiar to me. It kind of worries me. It really should, but hey, what do I know? Anyway, there are all kinds of rumors floating around about the place. I've heard stories about a walled city in there operates as a survival of the fittest kill or be killed basis, sort of like a nightmare inversion of Berlin. Yeah. All the anarchy, but none of the stability that it provides. Radiation poisoning, cancer, and mana pollution are just the icing on the cake. Icing. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Fierschwing down, she crashed into the SOX, and much is well known. What isn't well known are all the modern day myths that have arisen about her since, and tonight I have heard an earful. Lieutenant Pagel claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler who operates in the SOX. She told me about a dragon cult called Disciples of Cleaning Fire. I think that should be Cleansing Fire. Whatever. Apparently these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be Fierschwing or it could be nothing. But it's worth digging into all the same. Another thing that my little ghost raid told me, the popular rumor in the SOX is that Fierschwing's astral form was, I guess you'd say, mutated by all that background radiation. Some of the glowpunks out there say that she shed her body like an old coat. Others say that she's trapped, doomed to languish as an intangible radioactive ghost. Sounds terrible. I don't know how much credence to give to any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be. Then, she could also be run-of-the-mill glowpunk, or maybe she's just a yank in my chain and she never been into the SOX at all. Who knows? I mean, yeah, good point. Well, it's food for thought anyway. Don't know whether the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon, but it's interesting all the same. Now the big question, will any of this get me closer to finding Adrian? I'm gonna go out on my limb and say no, but you never can tell. Well, a lot of information there. Light for a moment, then green Winners appears on the screen. Timestamp of the video reads 2045, 11:12. The next day. Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After Dragonfall, the Great Dragon Calistine came flying out of the SOX to rescue Firewing. Fight it into the extraterrestrial Firewing, but was driven off, some say killed, by Lothweir and Nibblehair. So, what if there's another dragon involved in all this? Winters grabs a thick leather-bound tome from a shelf behind him, flicks a finger, and begins to leaf through it. Alright, so let's run down this list of major dragons that could be helping her. First, there's the Golden Worm, Lothweir, the CEO of Saderkrupp, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Lothweir's a local boy, so he'd be in a position to help Fire Schwing. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. He could send a small army into the SOX if he wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he'd have the motive. He actually prevented the Firewing's rescue back in 2012 after all. Same thing, true for Nibblehair, so let's scratch them both off the list. He flips a page, frowning. We got Aiden, the great Sirish. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Lothweir, and they're actively competing for territory in the Middle East. So I suppose that could be considered motive. Reviving a Firewing might cause problems for the Golden Worm. But would he risk a war with Saderkrupp by straying into Lothweir territory again? I don't think it's likely. There's another page. Then there's Celadri, out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in the Transneuronet, so he's got money, but he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transis is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the SOX. Dunkelzahn out in the UCAS. He shakes his head and then slams the tone out. No, this is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? You don't need to work together. They have us to exploit. Ah! Just having a hard time talking lately, aren't I? I mean, most powerful thing on Earth. I could be wrong, but I was really certain in terms of like power. And I guess you have to, but I was in terms of power. Dunkelzahn was kind of just eked out a little bit more on Lothweir, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Check loaded, it's clearly corrupted. The screen fills with a meaningless stream of text. Projectil 12, 33, 1, 2, 3, 6, 4. So much for that one. The file is partially garbled. You recognize a few words here and there. They're dispersed amidst the solid black of corrupted text. Vauclair and still my big swear to Aldlian old not getting any cloth swear to Ash new research infivi and not no 2049 6. All corrupted, the screen fills with a meaningless assortment of ASCII 2 characters. There, and track 6. Screen goes black. Same digital chime that you heard on the Dragonfall DVD plays again. The crackle stack fills the air flowed by the same not familiar electronic whine. A few moments later, the display goes live. Luclara looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged in his bloodshot and murdered. He holds a cigarette in an empty hand. Hermie, it's me. I can't sleep. I don't know where you are. Out having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties that you're always chasing. He tries to smile, but quickly disappears. He takes a drag off the cigarette. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant life, normal life. After all, one of us should. Luclara rubs his eyes. I can't smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later, and I can taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I can hear the sirens and screams. There's no sound in the world as horrible as a burn victim's screams. The doctor would call it this PTSD, I'm sure. They have me in therapy. Maybe it dose me up on SSRIs like they do to our veteran soldiers. He chuckles, takes another drag. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer, Adrian Viclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. No. Therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to. However poorly deserved it is, and however little I want it. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that I am certain. One day I will find her, then perhaps I will be able to sleep through the night. Display goes black, and the background wine fades away. A moment later, you find yourself deposited back at the menu screen. Eject the DVD. All right. Maybe yes. Any pay data we can post. Post Humanus Safe House list. Here are the keywords going on. Just got one of these from the Transys NeuroNet rep. Wants me to sell them in my store, so I took this puppy for a test drive. Signal quality is insane. Makes for a huge difference in the comfort, decking fatigue. I can stay jacked in for hours and feel fine. Last session I had to set a timer just so I wouldn't forget to eat lumens. Spec on that thing looks impressive, but I'm an allegiance man. Does the comfort really make that much of a difference? My deck is generally beaters anyway. Wraith. Allegiance? That's what you're doing with that thing? Playing a video game? What are you doing with that thing? Playing video games? Any serious decking is going to require more horsepower than that thing can push, even overclocked. Tolstoy. Only the crap decker blames their gear. I do that just fine. How much is Travis paying you to post this scheisse on here, Maelstrom? I imagine a lot. Oi, jummers. Could use your help. Every time I jack into the Matrix these days, I'm flooded with junk mail. There's so much of it I can't even see. Can anyone help me? Rolling thunder. Great, another newbie on here who thinks he's on a tech support board. Wraith-like. Hey, stuff it. I wouldn't ask, but I'm desperate. I can't deck like this. Alright, Thunder, calm now. Sounds like an ad bot is keyed into your deck. Been poking around anywhere sketchy lately? I don't need details. A simple yes or no will do. The smiling bandit strikes again. Ha 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 ha. Is that? No. No, Bandit, I haven't been anywhere like that, I swear. Please help me. What you bet he gave his personal info to some scam site? I'll give you 10 to 1 odds. No, I don't think so. All I've done is make an online dating profile. Let me guess. Meet and mate? What'd you guess? It's not a real dating site, Thunder. It's a place where desperate people go to get infected with malware. But what do I do? How do I make it stop? I don't know. Buy a new deck. Best of luck. Oh. Help the guy, but what do I know? Messages. Metbach Gunir. If you have very new hardware coming into the Q Bazaar, we need to talk. One of my weapon shipments was hijacked to a local gang. I can promise 500 Newen, and if you recover the shipment, I'll have you some new gear on shelf. Check for the details. Alright. Here we'll find a complete trust agreement with my conversation with Herr Schmidt, a potential client. As you'll see, he has detailed the job in more vague than I would argue the payload is quite substantial. After reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If your response is affirmative, our clients will be notified and you will make all the necessary preparations for the run. One thing Herr Schmidt provides me with a device associated with the run is called a little black box. Apparently it can be used to compromise the power and security systems of the run site. If you opt to take the job, be sure to take it with you. Later, a glowing blue text flows against scroll at the bottom of the screen. Guest, greeting, Herr Amsel. I trust that this connection is secure. Naturally, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Call me Herr Schmidt. Very well, Herr Schmidt. Have you some business for me? Indeed, I have a job for your team. A simple matter. Judging what you have heard of your team, I imagine they will be well suited to your task. Go on. The interests that I represent have learned that the AG Chemi Europa is working on a company-wide project, something very secret, very new. Reliable sources inform me that they are keeping working prototype of this new venture in their Berlin facility. I see, and your employer wishes to acquire this prototype for them? Naturally. What is this project? If you want my team to grab the prototype for you, they'll need to know what they're looking for. I'm not at liberty to say. I can tell you that the prototype has been branded Mark 6. I can also tell you that the team will be found at the 25th floor of the Berlin facility in the office of one Albert Hasshofer. Further, I can assist your team in disabling the security by gaining access to the 24th floor. From there on, however, you'll be on your own. Such vagueness can be dangerous, Herr Schmidt. I will not comment. I will commit my team to a run without better understanding what the job entails. Facing this such dangerous proposal of Shadowrunners. Consult your team will be rewarded handsomely for their services. My employer has set aside 20,000 Newen for the job. Consider it hazard pay if you wish. Look at 25,000 Newen or look somewhere else. 22,500 Newen, my final offer. Very well. I'll pass the offer on to my team. Are there any further details you can provide? Haushofer's office is locked behind a vault door. The lock is old-fashioned and mechanical variety. I'll provide the team with a copy of the key. I'll also provide you with a little black box, a solid-state device that your team can use to override a variety of building systems. Your team will enter through the facility's underground garage where your team will acquire the Mark 6. However, exit through the same garage. I will have a van there waiting for it to extract them. Thank you, Herr Schmidt. I will pass offer on to my team. Good day, Herr Amsel. Oh, might as well set the job. I got that one. All right. All right. Go talk to that one guy since he wants to talk to me. Romani Patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man, and is like wow. Late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, and his breath is heavy with the stench of pipe tobacco. You're here to conduct some business. If so, welcome you to Metbach Arms and Ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. Get your message about a missing shipment. How can I help? Hi, a gang of the nearby keys has hijacked a shipment bound for the crew bazaar, taking money out of our pockets. I could use your help to stop this from happening. Your dear departed Monica used to provide encryption and information to control for the crew bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that a gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with an agenda could use that information to set up an ambush, and that's just the thing that's what the gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have already been hijacked en route to the crew bazaar. Tracking device placed in one of the last shipments I sent out. Containers full of weapons and medical supplies. Sure enough, it got taken. And I've tracked it to the Gusenbrunnen. If you've never been there, it is a keys built out of an old U-Bahn station and some old bunkers. Rumor has it the new gang called the Rabengeister is holed up there. I suspect there are two things are related. You tell me that's what the gang of the Rabengeister. Not much, I'm afraid. From what I've heard, the Rabengeister, I don't care. I have such a hard time saying that. They have a reputation for stirring up trouble and then disappearing without a trace. I will tread carefully in Gusenbrunnen if I were you. Well, how do I get there? Take the U-Bahn, the line still runs through the many folks stop at the market. There used to be something of a tourist attraction, but I think they've fallen on hard times. I'll take care of it. Good, now about time I have some new inventory coming in. One more thing. I'm going to need you to go in light on this one. Take a friend along if you have to, but no more than one. If you spook them, they could trash the merchandise. Best go quiet. Best go soon, too, before the trail goes cold. Alright. Hello again, mein Frieden. What can I do for you? Uncover what Humanus was up to. You'll find the details on this datapad. This fits with Humanus' established pattern of behavior, horrific and vile. According to this datapad, Humanus compounds all over Berlin are receiving similar shipments. They are planning to deploy the gas tomorrow morning. I have a feeling that the Flux State will have a thing or two to say about this. Stahl has overstepped his bounds. His hubris will be his undoing. You mark my words, within the next few hours, the Humanist Poli Club is going to take a hammering that will make the Night Rage look like a peace rally. A great deal, Kassir. We all do. I'll wire you your payment as account number with amps provided. Thank you. Well, before we head out again, let's see if we can't have another round of talking about all my companions. Duh. How you doing, Glory? Golden as always, no problems here. If I'd known you better, I'd say you were warming up to me. Suppose you might say that. I don't talk to many people. It just doesn't seem worth the effort. I don't really feel much anymore. Not since this. She grasped the chroma before with a hand made of articulated steel. That's true. Why are you still talking to me? I suppose because you showed an interest and because you haven't let me push you away. That's true. She locks eyes with you. Her expression is blank. I don't want to mislead you, Kassir. I still don't feel anything. Not warmth or friendship or even trust. But I can appreciate an effort you're making. It's something new and worthy of explanation. Ready to tell you about the chrome you're sporting? I'm getting there, Kassir, but I want to give me some time. Answers will always come to me. Since things went bad when you turned 14, I'd like to keep talking about that. I'd rather not. Because I don't see reason to. The memories are unpleasant. Dredging them up doesn't seem to serve any real purpose. You're wrong about that. Last time we talked, it had an impact on you. That's reason enough to continue. Suppose that's true. Feeling discomfort is better than feeling nothing at all. Alright, I'm going to talk to you. You listen. When I'm done, I'm done. No complaints, no arguments. We'll see what happens. Deal? Deal. Right. The 1,000-meter stare creeps back into Glory's eyes. A moment later, she's locked away in her own head again, relieving the memories that she's long since filed away. So a few days after my 14th birthday, I began to express. Magically. Judging from what I saw in your aura, your awakening must have been an incredible thing. It was actually fairly standard. The real power didn't come until later, but we'll get to there. Anyway, I turned 14. I awakened. I don't even remember how my parents found out about it anymore. I think that my dad caught me playing with a tiny city spirit that I coaxed out of a pile of garbage or something like that. With everything that happened afterwards, those days were kind of a blur. I do remember as my father's response to the revelation that his little girl was a witch, Hexe. He beat the living shit out of me with his fists and then his belt and then a claw hammer that he grabbed out of his toolbox. Ow! My mother was screaming and flailing at him. She took a couple of licks with the hammer too. Neighbors didn't call the police or anything? Oh, sure they did. Our neighbors were perfectly decent people. Even if they couldn't admit it themselves, they knew what my father was up to. When they heard a woman with a little girl screaming bloody murder, they were the first to pick up the comm. Unfortunately, the police response time can leave a little something to be desired. I assume they showed up eventually, but I'll never know. I was out of there well before anyone showed up to intervene. We'll get to that in a second. So finally, after about like an hour, Dad stopped tuning me with a hammer. I had broken ribs, a busted arm, I couldn't see out of my left eye, and my entire right face sight was covered with one giant bruise. I was bleeding all over the place, making a real mess of the carpet. The old bastard spat on me, his bleeding, crying daughter. He spat on me and he told me, "Des tu fais here, the devil's whore." Then he kicked me out of the house. As I was crawling away, my father told me that if he or any of his Cruiserite brothers ever saw me again, they'd treat me as Berlin chapter treats the enemies of God. If you're not familiar with how the Cruiserites here in Brazil deal with heretics, it's decidedly less pretty than what my dad and his buddies did to their victims. I got the hint the next morning, and the next morning I hitched a ride out of this Stuttgart. You're a human girl with an ID. Presumably with an ID, why didn't you go to the hospital? Oh, I did, but not in Stuttgart. I went to a local hospital. If I went to a local hospital, then that kind of injury that the dad gave me, there'd be questions about, and I couldn't afford to stay in town any longer than I had to. Even if my dad wound up getting arrested for beating me, the rest of the local Cruiserites would have found me, and that could have wound up skinned alive or thrown into the Neckar. I wound up in Tübingen? I figured that's a safe enough place to find medical attention and maybe call home. It's not far from Stuttgart, but it was a huge student community that I figured I could blend into, and the university there was a decent magic department. My ride dropped me off at the university hospital, and then they patched me up for pretty good. Had some questions from me about how I got beaten up. I lied and told them I had been mugged, which played nicely into my complete lack of cash, credit, and identification. Where he pauses for a moment, then looks down at the floor and fixes her eyes on you. She visibly tense. We're going to fast forward through the next few years. I was a kid on the street. I got by as best I could, but doing whatever I had to. The rest can leave up to your imagination. Good? You what you had to. I'm no stranger to that myself, and I think that anyone working in the shadows is. Figured you'd understand. So anyway, I lived down the street for a few years, got used to being hungry all the time. I got used to getting rained on. Got by. Painfully aware that I had magical talents, but without any kind of training or guidance, I didn't really know how to use or develop them. Truth be told, they scared me more or less, so I more or less ignored them. Makes sense, I guess. I just went like that for the next few days until my 17th birthday, then I met Marta, and then everything changed. Marta was a sweet girl at first. I took her for a street kid like me. Her clothes were a little ratty, and she seemed less comfortable being near me. But also looked well-fed and happy. And those were the two things I hadn't been in years. She started hanging out, and before I knew what was happening, I was in love. Genuine attraction between us, Marta and me, I think. But I also had a lot of affection for her, came by the fact that she was the first person in years to give a damn about me. So I cared. Loved her for that. Chloe paused to look at the flustered. She looks flustered, her composure cracked. Keep going. When told me, she stares at you for the beat, then nods, a ragged breath later as she continues. Mother told me about the place where she'd been hanging out. She intended me to join her there. It was called Stella, the fireplace. A sort of a commune for disposable youth. Turns out that they had a lot of street kids I'd known over the years had moved there. The way they disappeared, I'd assumed that they'd been kidnapped or killed or had gone back to their parents. But there they were. I remember being kind of angry about that. How did everybody get the memo about this but me? I mean, you just kind of did, but whatever. Well, they called me down, and she was good at helping me work through my feelings, and I wound up following her to Stella. To a street kid, it was basically paradise. The owner, a guy named Harrow, had set up a little farm just outside of Tübingen, and Schobelchen Forest. Schobelchen is officially a nature park, but not many people go there nowadays. Too much fear of the paranormal animals, I guess. Anyway, park or not, it was pretty big enough for us to hide in, and it was also safe and pretty, and the farm was well stocked with food. Most importantly, there was a sense of community and stability that we were never had on the street. We loved Harrow for that. He became like a surrogate father to us. Chloe pauses again and then recognizes a distinctive flush in her cheeks. She seemed to have come out of her reverie once again. That's enough for now. I need to process all of this, and I don't want to continue forward until I've had the chance to do that. I know that all this happened years ago, but it gets still pretty raw on me, so I'm going to ask you to give me some space for a while. She turns away, and the frost begins to creep back into her voice. We can pick it up later. All right. Sure can. As you approach, Eager turns to face you. Her rifle has been field stripped and is lying in pieces as a sheet of butcher paper. Arranged in a neat row on the edge of the paper are bottles of copper solvent, bore cleaner, and lighter fluid. Please returns. What do you need? Well, I'd like to hear about your time in the KSK. No, I'm not in the habit of sharing war stories, Kassir. Not to people who've never served. Doesn't have to be a war story. I just want a better idea of who I'm running with. She looks at you for a moment, evaluating, and finally shrugs. All right, you win. I know everything to my time in the KSK, from my street name on down. So you tell me what you want to know, and we'll see how it goes. How'd you get your street name? Back when I was in basic training, fellow recruits made a vulgar joke at my expense. He said that I reminded him of the Norse face of the Eager in the Bernese Alps. Huge and beautiful, dangerous to climb. I told him left little doubts at what sort of climbing he had in mind. I think that way he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way, poking me in front of the other recruits to try to provoke a reaction. She shrugs. Anyway, he got one. Broke 3 of his ribs, and the name stuck. Serves him right, I guess. You graduate with critical clay. You might actually mean that, but then you may just be trying to get on my good side. Anyone who, well, you know, flatter yourself, so strike care less whether you like me or not. That's good. That's the right attitude. But be careful not to take it too far. You may need your team's approval, but you do need its respect. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing respect in your team. Well, by that logic, I should have broken your ribs after Monica died. It's your place. Your place, I would have. Fair enough. Looks at you up and down and praising you. Not that you succeeded if you tried, but in terms of saving face, it would have done wonders. In all seriousness, I'm sorry that I put you in that position. I shouldn't have, and I acknowledge that. Anything else, or am I going to get back to prepping the next turn? Tell me about your team. Fair enough. I guess you've earned that. There were 8 of us. 2 commando squads working together as a single unit. Schmidt and Lang were combat deckers. Wolf was our rigger and combat engineer. Fisher handled demolitions. Braun was a medic, and the rest of us, Metzer, Kruger, and myself, were weapons experts. Our mission was extraterritorial, technically illegal, but important enough to justify the risk. We'd been sent across the border into Poland. The Russian mafia had set up a cottage and street in the human trafficking all along the Oder-Neisse line, and it was our job to disrupt it. go on. We're a good team, experienced, but we went through a lot together, and we chucked up a lot of skills. In our own way, I'd like to think that we did some good. Who was in command? Mincer, best leader I've ever had the pleasure of serving under. Her face clouds. He was a hell of a man. But he went down with the rest of the team. Everyone but me. What happened to the team? She shakes her head. No, that's one story I won't be telling. They died, that's all you need to know. Thanks, Eager. Something else that you want to talk about, or can I go back to field trip cleaning my rifle? Ever heard of an organization called the Lodge? Afraid not. If it's a Berlin thing, you might be better off talking to one of the others. They've been here longer than I have. Alright, there I am. Maybe this guy's heard of the Lodge. Hey! Oh wait, you're over here. Why do I think you're over here? You're coming through me, boss. You ever need anything from me? That's all you can anything from me, anything at all. You can count on me. I'll come running. Well, how's he holding up? He's a good kid. That nephew of mine. Gave him some time and he'll shake Stahl's programming. It might take a while, but he'll adjust to life here in the Crew Bazaar. In the meantime, I've got a good home for him. Shame he'll agree to take him in. Is that wise? I mean, employees have no love for humanists. Most of them don't even like humans. Best thing for a kid will be to learn through immersion. If he stays with Samuel's group, he'll have no choice but to interact with meta-humans. Soon enough, he'll learn that there's no different than anyone else. First few days will be rough, no question, but he'll make it through and come out on the other side better man for it. Seems like a tough kid. I don't doubt that you're right. Yeah, you're as good a woman, boss. On the other things. Remember what I was telling you back when I climbed into the van? Yeah, you were saying the Dragon Slayer was happy and that you'd been given a reward? That's right, thanks to our, let's not mince words, heroic actions in that swine pit, the Dragon Slayer has seen fit to grant me his favor. And now I know what it means and I know what I can do with it. Well, don't keep me in suspense. This! As you watch the spot on Dietrich's is pointing at begins to glow, lines of force spread out in a scintillating web, and you feel your raw power suffuses your body. Just torn open a channel between myself and the Dragon Slayer. That power you feel is his power, pouring through you, the aethers, and into that spot. If you're familiar with the ley lines, it's the same basic concept. I consecrate the patch of ground, and as long as I stand in that spot, all my magic gets stronger. Not bad, huh? What about another major shaman? Could someone else benefit from these channels? I don't see why not. Like I said, it's basically a ley line. As long as you're on the Dragon Slayer's good side, I don't see why you couldn't use it. My idol, he isn't stingy with his gifts. Anyway, I want to keep fiddling with this, learning how to properly control it. I'm sure that your good thing is to do as well. Take care of whatever else you need to do, and then in our next run, I'll be ready for this. Take care, Dietrich. Anything else? Yeah, how'd you go from fronting Shadowrun? Honestly, working the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming that the world was fine and good when I was a kid, but just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left the band behind and I turned to the shadows. I don't know, guess I figured there'd be an easy way to find one. Considering the current events, I'd say you're not so wrong about that. Yeah, I guess not. Feeling kind of daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting. All the same, I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kind of satisfying having a white whale to chase. How long have you been looking for a real enemy? Not too long, ever since I took down that last one. Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself. I'll follow the creator or the moon made... Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the creator or the moon maid, but Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting. If I'm not doing either, then those things I'm looking for, bigger, better, fight to get in the next time. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. Yeah. Who was the last one? Gang boss. A great big orcish bastard called the Wild Schreinen. Local led the local chapter of the Horde. Horde? I had my sights on him and his for a while. They'd hurt a lot of people, and I figured they'd pose a challenge. Wasn't wrong about that, but I took him out in the end. When does this pattern end? Well, boss, the way I figure it is, it'll end when I pick a fight I can't win. Might be this one, maybe next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. And that's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it. Who am I to refuse him? That's enough for talk for today. Besides, we've got other things to do, I'm sure. Hold on. Oh, crap. Should have asked him about the lodge. Too late now. Hey, Blitz, you know anything about this lodge, people? Just hoping to see you. Do you have another run lined up? Strapped for cash. Why? Why are you strapped for cash? With the amount we've been working, should be rolling in you. What can I say, Chief? He ties on a thoroughly unconvincing smile, but immediately sees something better of it. The anxious look returns on his face. I have expensive tastes. How expensive are you talking? Even if you had a raging cram habit, I'd think you'd have gotten at least some money left. Expensive. Truth be told, I'm in debt. In debt to who? He hesitates before responding, then he does his voice carries the edge of annoyance. No offense, but this is getting a little too personal, Chief. My debts are none of my business. Some bookie senses, Some bookie sense his thugs, you're looking for you. It's going to become my business. So talk now. Shakes his head in exasperation. Alright, fine. First off, you don't need to worry about anyone coming after me. My debts are to a bunch of old contacts. If I don't pay them, I'm going to lose them. And if it's in this line of work, it isn't smart to burn bridges. Second, before you ask, those debts are for services rendered. I was in a tight spot. I needed to get some help, and I threw around a lot of IOUs to get it. Third and finally, the trouble. I was involved a girl. Tell you about it if you ask me, but we're verging too deep into personal feelings territory. So if you don't want to hear me sob over my ex-girlfriend, you drop the subject now. You're clearly preoccupied with this in our line of work. Preoccupied can get you killed. So spit out what you want to deal with. Nah, go ahead. Tell me I'm interested. Liz meets your gaze for a moment, then looks away and decides. Alright, where to begin? I met Emily in Dragonfall. She was the first person who was ever more important to me than myself. It's crazy about her, Chief. To this day, she only person I ever met who could out-deck me, and the big kicker is she wasn't even a decker by trade. There was nothing she wasn't good at. I like to dabble in rigging, but Emily, that girl could pick up anything, and she set her mind to. Sounds like a hell of a girl. She just made things right. No matter how stupid I was, no matter what I got myself into, she made it right. I don't think much of many people, Chief. Emotional attachments aren't really my thing. She seems to like a diluted word these days, so I won't waste it on Emily. Let's just say that she wasn't important to me. And then I lost her. I didn't know what was happening. It came out of nowhere, and one day she was just gone, along with most of my decking gear. The only explanation was a handwritten note on the old-fashioned paper. Leave me alone. That was it. We'd been together for years, and that was all she left. This beat-up old cyberdeck. Naturally, I freaked. We had our share of arguments, but we'd never had a huge one or anything. I couldn't think of anything that would drive her to do a thing like that. Mostly I felt hurt, so I searched for her in the real world and in the Matrix. Then that turned up nothing. I started tapping my contacts. And that was when I started racking up debt. So did you find her? No, she's gone. Not a trace. I looked high, looked low, I poked into everything I could think of, and my contact did the same. She's gone, Chief. At this point, I've accepted this, but I still have to repay those debts. Surprised you gave it up so early. There must be some place you haven't looked. I don't know. I really did look everywhere, and a great personal cost. If she meant that much to you, you owe it to yourself to try. Yeah, you might be right. Frag, I thought I was done with this, but you're right. Without some kind of closure, I'm never going to be at peace with this. Thanks for the talk, Chief. I'll let you know how it goes. You do that. Good luck, Blitz. All right. Got a couple of quests. Let's well, I want to spend here. Let's see if we can't do that one with the guy that's like, hey, I need the stuff. We'll go with the decker just in case there's something that needs decking, you know? Short train ride to the Gusenbroden. You exit the subway car, stepping into the old grungy platform. The place is deserted, though signs of life are everywhere. Gaping hole in the ceiling filters cool, hazy light from hazy light from above. To your right, a small plot of crops struggles to endure the cold and limited light of the station. Trash and junk litters the platform. It's clear that this place hasn't seen anything resembling a janitorial staff in quite some time. You think? Somewhere in this old rundown U-Bahn station lies the entrance to the Grusenbrunn Keys. And hopefully some leads to the whereabouts of the Rabengeister and Grunari's missing shipments. The old fluorescent glow lights are barely keeping the planet alive. Almost no lights from the surface makes this far underground. Stairwell down looks to have completely collapsed. I mean, yeah, possible. Far enough, old friend. An old man raises his hand, squinting at you, approaches. To his left, you see an orc shifts his weight, resting in one hand casually at a pistol at the hip. Both are dressed in what might be considered uniforms, but it's hard to tell for sure. You'll get many visitors down here these days, and you'll forgive me for saying, but, well, you don't really look like the type that usually comes through here. She looks fed, for one thing. Indeed, so what brings you to the Gusenbrunn? Visiting from the Rhine-Ruhr megaplex, my friend Hans said that the market here is second to none. I've come to see myself. Oh, maybe a few years ago that was true. These days, it's hard times all around, I suppose, but you're welcome to go in, of course. Customers are always welcome. Oh, and talk to Corin if you want to hear some good stories about that market. About the market's prime. He always is happy to share a tale or two. Thanks. Doors look to be handmade out of rusty sheet metal, nothing of value catches your eye. The man before you is average build and nondescript dress. He's leaning against an old wooden cabinet reading a book. As you approach, he looks up he casts a warm smile in your direction. Guten Tags. My name's Corin, friend. Can't say I've seen you around these parts before. Just passing through, or I'm looking for information. You ever heard of a gang called the Rabengeister? Certainly. I've been spinning quite a tale on these parts of late. Hard to know anything for sure, though. One rumor says they hijacked freight out of Frankfurt or Tor. Then next day they hear about sighting down in Alexanderplatz. Well, just yesterday I heard someone claim they saw a member of the Rabengeister speed by in the U-Bahn tunnel, clinging to the side of the train car. Ha! Between you and me, it's probably the gang. That's probably a gang called Surf Turf. Strange ones, though, as I heard they implement suction cups to their hands and feet. I guess they really like hitching rides on the U-Bahn trains. That's the flux tape for you, though, full of strange and unexpected. Can you tell me about this place? Goosenbroden? Well, it's my home for one, and then we've got a small bar set up over there. Of course, you'll want to know about the market. It used to be something beyond, behold, my friend, one of the grandest markets in the city. You could find nearly anything in these stalls for the right price. It's a real shame, but little by little, the things slowed down. Folks stopped taking the subway line so much. I guess that's the way of the flux. You seen a shipment of weapons pass through here recently? His face falls. Wish that I had, friend. It's too bad. That place used to be soaring with commerce, but now hardly anything passes through here, I'm afraid. Folks around here are lucky enough to have a full meal, and that's the end of the... full meal at the end of the day. Tough times, I suppose. I hope things turn around for you for the better soon. Me too. Thanks for the friendly words, though most folk that come through here are either looking to bum a quick handout or steal what they can before spearing down the line. Can I do anything to help? No, I don't think so, friend, but thank you for the gesture. The man squints at you. He looks thoughtful. Have you heard of a story of Schneiderhanners? Not sure. Schneiderhanners was an outlaw centuries ago, back in the Napoleonic day. See, Schneiderhanners was a thief, a greedy one, if you believe the stories. He ended up getting raided up and down the Rhine, stealing for themselves. But then something happened. The people of the Rhineland, they were inspired by Schneiderhanners in the time they hailed him as a hero. He was stealing from the French, you see. I think that something happened, then something surprised the Schneiderhanners. I think because of perhaps he became the hero people wanted him to be. Maybe he did start stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. I don't know. The storybooks are confusing to say the least. At any rate, the point is, friend, I think that maybe if enough people believe there's something true, it can be changed the truth of that thing. Perhaps enough people in the Goosenbroden have a hope to believe in, their fate will change as well. Until then, we have to continue on. Don't you mean Robin Hood? Ha. No, you would think, but it's an altogether different tale, I assure you. Much more romanticized. Anything else I can help you with? Nah, I'll be going now. Okay, maybe this person knows something about the goldfish. The woman starts a little as you approach, but she recovers quickly and beams brightly at you. The fox face on her headdress seems to grin as well. Her classically nasal American accent is obvious. Hey kiddo, share a drink with me? Sure, if you're buying. Awesome. Fortunately, there aren't a lot of options here. They've got beer and homebrewed gin and schnapps. Pick your poison. I've been drinking gin and tonics. Tonics cuts out some of the gas flavor. I think they've been distilling it in old propane tanks. Yuck. Let's try a schnapps. Sure thing, lady. Slides a tumbler of sweet-smelling pear schnapps down at your way. It's warm. I'll drink it. The warmth seems to bring the pear smell out of the great deal, and almost sickening how sweet it is. Listen, my name's Goldfish. What's yours? You get a name like Goldfish. Oh, you know, the saying, remember like a goldfish? Because I'm blonde, people think I'm just like that. Plus, they call my twin Guppy, so Goldfish makes sense for me. So what were you find down here, Robin Hood? The Rabengeister, actually. Raven ghosts? Might be in Goosenbroden. Seems like everyone and everything down here is ghost. Ghosts of the past, ghosts of trains, ghostly thin, and folks for the pale and black for lack of sunlight. Ah! I need sunlight too. I like to joke, I joke photosynthesis, but it just gives so much more energy. These people don't have any more. Her expression grows stern for a moment, and then she stares into her empty gin and tonic. Maybe I've been down here too long. Maybe I'm a ghost too. Alright, that's it for a line you're officially cut off. Your total is 36 new. Can I at least buy something for my friend here if he's been taking to me a bit and hasn't had anything? No, you're cut off. I don't want you even sipping out of it. Chill, forget I asked. She turns to you with a shrug. Sorry I can't get you anything else, but thanks for being a pal. Smells like something died here, and upon closer inspection, just moldy soy cakes. Surface access has been welded shut, probably to attempt to keep security tight. Seems like a bad idea to me, but what do I know? Hello, newcomer. I have many exciting rare weapons to pursue. Instruments of death for the sort that I'll find anywhere else in Brilliant. Time to take a look around. For the stuff we reclaimed, your inventory looks decidedly poor. Most of the weapons appear rusty and ill repaired. Particularly a cobbled together pistol stands out from the bunch. Let's see what you have here. I don't want to get that considering how awesome that shotgun was last time, but don't know, it doesn't think there's much here that would interest me. There's been lean pickings lately about these parts, and on top of all that, there's the militia. They need most of the best weapons to keep us safe. Still got some reliable weapons for home defense. The shiny looking pistol. Actually, is it not? It's a master craftsman who used to live here, forged some of the finest lug throwers you'll find the side of the Atlantic. And at that price, a steal. Looks like some of those parts are hot glued together. As I said, some of the work of mastercraft. Weapon made by any other simply break after being fired. Right, that's enough of that. The military captain stands alert, his eyes tracking slowly across the market before coming to a rest on you. Guten Tag. Looking for a gag called the Rabbengeister. Ever heard of them? No. I wouldn't suggest asking questions about such things around here. Have you seen weapons moving through here? It appears to have been carried hastily open. There are partially torn shipping label on it. Most of the stuff worn off, but the word reads Crew Bazaar is still clearly visible. Great Pirate Hut looks like it was marked for delivery to the Crew Bazaar. You wouldn't have to know much about that, would you? Troll looks around nervously. No, I don't know anything about the crates. Looking for some backup? It's just us here, friend. Hey, look. Yeah, the Rabbengeister came by yesterday, asked me to move the rest of these medical supplies. Then they disappeared. I don't know where they went. I mean, hey, I gotta make a living, right? Look around here. They leave me this kind of scope. They leave me this kind of score, I'm grateful. I already sold most of it in less than a day. Plenty of folks around here need of real medical supplies. Alright, I've told you what I know, so we're cool, right? I don't know anything else. I know how this works, friends. They drop off the shipment, you move the goods. Then you meet somewhere to hand over the take. Tell me where to find the Rabbengeister. Okay, fine. I meet them at the information kiosk on the far side of the market. That's where they appear. I don't know how they get there, though, I swear. They don't use the front entrance, I know that much. Thanks. You know, most of those supplies were stolen from another keys. My keys. That means all the money you've been making belongs to me. You know what? Nah. This place is pretty hard, they could use it. And sometimes you just gotta go hoodin', you know? This would be part of the shipment must in regard to the cubes are. There's a scuff marks on the ground as if something was dragged across you. The marks vanish into the wall. A small stem in the wall suggests that there... A seam in the wall. Stem. Wow. Seam in the wall suggests that there might be a passageway hidden in the wall here, but you can't spot the cleared mechanism film. Maybe we should ask around. Looks like the place might be sure some might be still build the beans. Yeah, this terminal probably doesn't. Actually, just repair water flooding out of the walls and straight into the pools and the floor. There's some other mildew from here. Appears to be an old U-bound information terminal. Judging by the system's design, the current condition is quite old. If you approach the machine, it makes a series of sputtering sounds and the dust-covered screen flickers dimly to light. Time since last update. Error. Primary database not found. Restarting in offline mode. Restarting. Screen goes dark as the machine begins to emit a bizarre variety of clicking and chirping sounds. After an intermediate amount of time, the screen finally shudders back to life. Welcome to the Gunjbredden station. Please select an option for the menu. Station history, route information, enter customer query. Present to your customer query string now. This system will attempt to match your query against data batch frequently asked would be your value. Try to press the button only to realize that the key is missing from the keyboard. A thick layer of grime and dust rests in its place. Search there for sale. This guy knows what to do. What's up with the scuff marks on the ground over by the information kiosk? Well, no, I'm not in charge of cleaning around here. Hell, nobody is these days. The way things have been going on, hopefully our luck will turn. Sooner or later, I'd be nice to get some pride in this place again. Change the subject, are we? You're hiding something back there. She steps in and suddenly her rifle's level at your chest. Fine, I don't know who you are or what you're doing stooping around here, but you better come with me. Our leader's going to want to speak with you. Who's leader? Come on, a Rabengeister. It's clear that you know that much by now. What makes you think I'll come along? Look, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this any more than you do, but you're not going to let me keep sniffing around here. Come with me. I'll guarantee nobody's going to stab you in the back. I'll bring you safely to see the Rabengeister. Very well. Ugh. This is the same man you met in the market, but the friendliness is gone on his face, and this place is a cold, unwavering gaze. If you'd have stuck to the market, stranger. If the Rabengeister wished to be found, we'd open a fucking cafe. What do you want from us? From the Crew Bazaar, you stole a shipment of supplies bound for our keys, and we want it back. Of course, we're a little less careless on that one. I figured that with Monica Schaefer gone, the Crew Bazaar would be an easy score. So that's why you're here. We stole your supplies, now you want them back? Yeah, that's about right. Check completely understand, stranger, believe me, but unfortunately we need those supplies more than you do. So I'll have to graciously decline your offer to relieve us of your property. I can see things are hard here, Corin, but I'd look out for my own keys, and that shipment belongs to us. Not from where I'm standing. Look, there's no need for bloodshed, I'll tell you what. Seems like you know what it's like to look out for keys like this. It's not easy, right? We'll provide for these people. A haul like this shipment keeps Goose and Browning from going hungry just a little while longer. It's our home. These are our people. I suspect you feel the same about the crew bazaar. So I'm prepared to let you leave. Just like that, knowing a little secret here and everything. In return, all you need to do is just walk away. Just walk away and forget this ever happened. What do you think, stranger? I think flux folk like us need to stick together. Why stay strangers? Maybe we can come to an arrangement that can benefit both of our keys. I'm listening. In the crew bazaar, my friend Altlung has a series of data traps established to monitor many of our communications. You return our shipment, we let you listen in those taps. I see, that's an interesting offer, friend. Those who let us scope out some lucrative heists around here, assuming these traps are reliable. Taps are reliable. Traps. They are. I checked them just the other day. Very well, I suppose that's worth the price of a crate of guns. Your medical supplies are already mostly gone, I'm afraid, but the weapon shipment is still being held in the locker at Frankfurt Tor. I'll have it sent back to the crew bazaar immediately. You'll let us in those data taps? Take a tunnel to the crew bazaar and talk to Altlung. He runs a small cafe not far from the U-Bahn station. Tell him I sent you and that he'll set you up. Well, well. Goran looks thoughtful. Maybe things are looking up around here. I suppose friends and enemies can both be found in strange ways here in the Flux. Glad we talked this out, Corin. I'll be going now. Take care, stranger. I did kind of want to get in a firefight, but gotta do some hooding from time to time. Gotta do some hooding. Right in. Yes. All right. You emerge from the U-Bahn station onto the familiar streets. Crew bazaar. The energy needs here a stark contrast to the very slowly rounding mood of the Grusenbauer. The crew bazaar is an island of hope, afloat amidst the dangerous currents of the Flux state. But it wouldn't take much for it to capsize. It's time to find Gunari and tell him the news. To get a visit with the Rabengeister, they won't be hijacking shipments anymore. A faint smile plays across the normally taciturn face, merchant's face. Taciturn merchant's face. Yes, this much I know already. The missing shipment arrived just before you did. I thought I barely caught a glimpse of those who delivered it. How were you able to manage that? I made an agreement with the leader and they agreed to return the weapons. Accomplished all through diplomacy? Interesting. It is. Well, it's not what I would have done, but perhaps this is for the best. That's what you got. Get an Ares Predator with a smart link and an Ares Predator without a smart link. Which is interesting because I'm fairly certain. And well, I mean, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that the Ares Predator came with a smart link. Or maybe I need to go back and check my first, second, third edition book. I don't know. It has been a while. I will admit. All right. So we're gonna eliminate those loose ends. You, and you because we don't need you because we got a mage. Crap. Forgot I was gonna check the mage guy, see if he had anything new. Probably hasn't, but you know. Your client hired you to tie up loose ends at the site of a botched cloak and dagger operations. One of the operatives from the failed mission has been captured by security forces. And it's only a matter of time before he talks. Your job is simple. Kick in the door, find the operative, and put a bolt in his guts before he can spill them. I swear to God, I sold this thing. Whatever. Reception area of the Shadowrun Pharma AG lab looks normal enough. Synth leather couches were obvious designers, designed for more appearance than for comfort. The blue steel walls were genuinely illuminated with energy-efficient recessed lighting. All in all, it's a perfect example of typical corporate design sensibilities: bland, generic, and safe. An overturned houseplant is the only sign that something might be amiss in the lab ahead. Ready for this, leader? According to what Herr Fuchs told us, this entire complex is going to be crawling with hired security. We have some knight errant, but we'll see. It's going to be a hell of a fight. We can handle it. Get ready, people. Yay! Dick! Yeah! Oh boy! Damn it! Not what I was hoping for, but alright. Oh boy. Oh crap. More guards. Geek the mage. Always geek the mage. That was a lot of guys. Yeah, I didn't expect that, did ya? God, give me like a bad habit. Body of the table looks like a janitor. His chest and stomach appear to have been brutally torn open. That was weird. Thanks for standing up, everybody. See what that is. 77%. All right. going through that door was not their best idea, but... There we go. Could you miss? Going there. Through this door or... Nope, alright. What happened in there? The body of this operating table has been torn to pieces. The dual arms of the autosurgeon are the obvious culprit. Oh boy, geek the mage, geek the mage! You know, nothing about it. It's counterintuitive for me to start screaming geek the mage when I myself am a mage. No! There we go. Mage! You have a shot on Mr. Mage. Yeah, kind of figured. Ow! Going for it. Remote control to the turrets. All the corpses, the bodies are all dressed in high-quality ballistic armor. What do we do here? Fast response team inbound, hold them until the reinforcements arrive. Grenadier, Conjurer, Grenadier, Conjurer, Grenadier. Time to get that Conjurer. Get in there. Supercharged! Terrible idea, I know, but... Nice! There we go. I guess it's just gonna die anyway. Yeah, having me gallivant out in the open like that just to get that ley line probably was a terrible idea. Oh well, not much I can do about it now. description of your client gave you, must be the target. The rigger, Thorvald Instead. You can see him waving a pound and pounding on the plastic of his cell door, but from where you're standing, the scene is eerily silent. It looks like he has had a rough go of things. One of his eyes has been blackened and his lower lip split wide open. Not particularly surprising given the temperaments of his captors. The only incongruous elements is his outfits. He's decked out to head to toe in a patched black riding leathers. A pair of oversized stuffed combat boots shine in the halogen glare of the cell's lighting panels. From his style of dress, it's obvious that this dwarf is not a corporate employee. He's a Shadowrunner. We're just having to kill one of our own. Still, job's a job. Yes, it is. All the same, I feel like we're on the wrong side of this one. Not our call. Not anymore. We took the run. We have to follow it through. Door opens and the stench of stale sweat salts your nostrils. Enstred steps forward, his white lips curled into a smile. The sole of his boots squeak as he polished the tile floor. Free at last, thank Christ. He smiles wide into a thick, sickly grin. Tar-stained teeth shine wetly in the light. Didn't think I'd want to rescue you, whoever sent you, thank him. Say goodnight. Really? Draws lifeless body, large couple on the floor, his mouth is frozen open in a silent scream. Oh, that was cold, Chief. At least you could have talked to the guy. He was a Shadowrunner, one of us. For once, Sarah and I complete agreement. She nods at you. Well, we all know what we're here to do. Good on you for stepping up and doing it. Yep. Oh boy. The group is an elf with an Asian features. He's obviously a that job. The bands of corded muscle that bulge under his sleeves have heavily distinct store-bought look to them. When he speaks, his voice comes out in a gravelly rumble. My, the triptych is here with no rigor in sight. I must admit, I am surprised. That makes the two of us. Why the hell are you here? Herr Fuchs sent us to check up on you. Given his recent troubles with Shadowrunners, this could not come as a surprise. The company man smiles and nods. I shall return to him and report your task completed to my satisfaction. Good day. Subway cars empty on the return trip to the crew bazaar. The stench of the sprawling U-Bahn tunnel system doesn't seem much use, it seems, and at least not at this hour. As the train rattles on, you find yourself lost in thought. Old memories creep unbidden to the forefront of your mind. Memories of Monica in the old days and the crew that used to run with. Memories of the successes and failures, wealth and poverty, and good times and bad. Halfway back to the crew bazaar, you are jolted out of your reverie by a buzzing sound. Your comlink. You're receiving a call. Comlink buzzes a quick glance at the screen, tells you that Amsol is on the line. You pick it up and his voice fills your ear. I trust that I'm catching you at a good time. Wait, as good a time as any. What's up? I made contact with another prospective client, a rather elusive woman of Aztlander descent. She calls herself Frau Müller. It's a job. She will not say, not to me at any rate. She has insisted that she speak with only you. She wants to meet you in half an hour's time, the location of your choosing. What's she offering for this mystery job? 36,000 yuan. Quite an impressive sum. I would not have bothered you with this otherwise. It's a lot of money. All right, count me in. Very good. I will return to come to the crew bazaar. Where would you like to meet? Oh, Cafe Cafes. Oh, also have to meet. So one other thing, Comlink cuts to static. A moment later, the U-Bahn flicker winks out. You hear the screeching sound of steel on steel as the train grinds to a halt. With the power of the whole station. Lost. Yeah. Tunnels collapsed, not getting out this way. So there's a squad living around in the station. Consoles extended a nearby bridge caused the tracks, but the power is out. The entire thing is non-functional. Alright. Most extra fuse into the socket next to the bitrum, status next to track remains red. I think that's this thing. All right. Extend the bridge. There we go. So dark in the maintenance area you can barely see your hand in front of your face. Let's only force the door. Door opens up. Oh boy. Seems we have been set up for an ambush. You know, I'm an elf, so we have like low light vision. Why didn't that kick in? Or better yet, you know, Eager's a troll. She's got, you know, thermal vision. Why didn't that kick in? Yeah. Gotta cover. That's a smart idea. Oh, there's more dudes out here. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably should have realized that there's more out there when I immediately get out of combat. But I feel like that'd be a good idea to do that before I get back on the train, you know? Yep. The rest of the trip home is uneventful, but one thing is clear: someone is hunting you. The ambush was no chance gang warfare, but an organized attempt on your life. If Green Winters was right, then whoever killed him is now after you. The PDA you retrieve from your attackers maybe holds some answers. It's time to return to the safe house and consult Paul Amsel. Yep. But I guess we'll do this. Definitely. That. So much karma spins we got. Oh, here we go. Alrighty then. But find out what's going on with that one lady once or whatever about that mission. That's something we'll have to do about next time. As we are at that time, and thank everyone so much for stopping in, and we'll see you all next time.